Hello, everybody. Welcome to Level Up Circle TV. Are you guys ready for today? Let's start. Are you guys ready?
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost.
Join us in the heart of personal transformation with Level Up Circle TV, your exclusive gateway to unlocking your inner potential and achieving extraordinary results. This TV show is your secret weapon for personal and professional development, packed with valuable insights, expert advice, and real life success stories. Are you ready to take the leap and transform your life? Don't just watch, participate. Tune in, take notes, and then take action. The journey to your greatest self starts here. So, get inspired, get motivated, and get ready to level up. Join us and let's embark on this transformative adventure together. Click that remote and let's start making your dreams a reality.
Ah, so you have no surprise. It's not a surprise. You know that my first live is going to be one of my sisters. But today is very special for a lot of reasons, right? But before I bring her up, welcome, guys. Hello. I'm still sick. Okay, so if I cough in the middle, that's what's happening. I'm still sick, and you guys can hear me. I hope, right? I think we have started a live chat in here. Janice, good morning, sister. I see her on YouTube. Party's on there. There it is. So I can definitely show you if you're on my YouTube channel. If you are looking on LinkedIn, unfortunately, LinkedIn is not letting or allowing my new platform on my TV show to show. And I'm glad that Janice is here because she is one of our sponsor and tossybrands.com. And if you go to tossybrands.com and you've put level up 23, because it's still 2023, you'll get a discount for your pillowcase. And let me tell you something. You need to buy it. One of these days, I'm going to bring it. I sleep with it everywhere I go in my house. Apparently, my dog loves it too because I saw her stole that last night. She was sleeping with me, and then all of a sudden, my neck starting to hurt like at 2 in the morning. And I look, and that little pain in my butt literally took over my pillow. Like, hello, no. So I guess Janice, I keep saying I'm gonna buy because I'm waiting for that pink tossy, but I think I really need to buy before the pink tossy comes in for sure because there's a lot of thief in my house and I need him to stop doing that. And then I need another shout out, which is my sister Nick. She is definitely working right now, and I wish her good luck. She has a talk with Dr. Nupi on Saturday, New York. If you're around the area, check her out. Tell her CJ sent you. And of course, I wish her good luck in her first project of anthology on a note to my family. So before I keep going, I get a question or two about Level Up Circle TV and what is the TV about. I still see you in YouTube and LinkedIn. Where's the TV? So if you guys if you have a Roku TV, an Apple TV, an Android phone, Samsung will be in January. And if you are definitely on Facebook or YouTube, the app that you need to download, it's called E360 TV, and you will find us live in there and it will forever be there. So it basically looks like this. I don't know if you can see. Oh man, there's a reflection. You can't see. Next time I'll do better and cut a picture and show you, but it will say E360 TV. Once you are on the channel on our network, go to the one that has a butterfly on the head called Fresh Takes. And then from Fresh Takes, I'm the very first top. And you click on there, and our movies, our live will be on there as well for you guys on TV. So you're going to ask, like, okay, so how do I get in there? Um, I am doing more of an application. I want to make sure that everyone who is on my circle is doing it for the right reason. And you're probably going to ask, what do you care if I just give you money for your airtime? I care because I want everything that I do that's holistic is that for everyone. Remember, my vision is to be the Netflix of education, and that the mission is to level up the world through education. Education means we're learning something for professional development, right? To make us grow up a little bit and maybe cut corners, and not cut corners that way, but cut steps, right? To make sure that if we are doing something for leveling up ourselves, we have the right tools and the proper people to support us. So it's not about vanity measures on my TV show. It is all about leveling up everyone. So I'm going to show you. If you go to levelupwithdoc.com, you actually will be there, and there's a couple of things in there. The only thing I don't have is my sponsorship yet, but if you go in there, you can buy TV time, and also between 25 minutes or 45 minutes. The only thing that you have to make sure is that if you are doing sponsorship, I'm still working on putting a button in there for sponsorship. If you don't feel like, oh, I should be on TV, it's fine. You can do sponsorship, and I can show your sponsorship in there. Who else do we have in there? Oh, Janice. Yes. She's like, good opening. What's up, my brother? How are you doing? Yes, that is Level Up 23. Ollie, hello. How are you? All the way from Belgium, my French brother. Yes, Ollie's like, hi, Janice. Hi, CJ. Yes, E360 TV. That is correct, my brother. Ollie will also be on our TV soon with my show as well. So we'll check that out. So, are you guys ready? So, today you're probably wondering, like, okay, if you have followed Susannah Dawn, my sister from another mister, you know that she's all about moving beyond boxes. And you're probably thinking, well, I don't know what that means. What is moving beyond boxes means? We will find out today. Today, we're going to actually dig deeper on what Susannah's all about and why you should hire her if you are a business to business type of organization. We're talking medium to large organization, and we're going to have a little bit of stats today. But first, there's a QR code for Janice Tossi Brands there, Level Up 23. And here is the TV circle. You can scan as well for the QR code. Let me give you a couple of seconds. I'm still sick. I still have severe bronchitis, guys. And of course, Susannah's latest, and I say latest because she's working on like a million books, okay? Latest book, right? This is called the Search for Armor of God. Let me see. Search for the Armor of God. Hello. Yes, that is the book. I hate that shadowing, but yes. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is how thick it is. See that? Yeah, I'm a bad sister. I've been reading and I'm only on 15 pages. 15 pages, but hey, it's really amazing. I love the twist and turn, and she'll talk to you more about that. And that book actually is an amazing book for you guys to start and getting to know our dear sister. But before we welcome her, I'm going to have a little bit of blurb to let you guys know what she's all about, what is our topic today. And it's not the same as every other topic that you've heard before, which that's why I'm super excited. Okay. So before we bring her up, let's welcome my dear sister, Susannah Dawn, right? And today She is, well, not today, but all of the time, she is a global speaker, an international best-selling author, 3 times, business corporate partner. What does that mean? We'll get to know more today. And her tagline is always, I'm not what I used to be, yet I am who I've always been. And Susannah Dawn no longer fits in the proverbial box and never really did. Having entered in 2022 with a total reinvention, she now looks alive at life and business from a vantage point set beyond labels, beyond boxes, those places in which our fears work hard to confine us, trying to keep us from seeing we are so much more than boxes and labels could ever express. Susanna speaks at length on importance of women being our authentic selves, of moving past the fears and self-doubt holding us back from success, and thereby turn the obstacles of pivoting of the reinvention process into speed bumps. Susanna's goal is to lift other women to step beyond their own boxes and of course shine. Susanna Dawn's experience in leadership roles spans a diverse group of industries, including the U.S. Army officer, construction management for design and build commercial projects, managed 20 to 30 million energy efficiency programs, worked on a number of independent sustainability programs, including carbon footprint of an 8 million construction project, and writing for renewable energy firms, solar, wind, intertidal, right? And her workshops include vision boards and power words and helping women create and visualize a living blueprint of their dreams and goals, right? And we already mentioned she's a 3 times international best-selling author. And her first fantasy book, guys, right, is Search for the Armor of God. This is an example of a journey beyond boxes. Are you guys like tired of me talking about her yet? Do you want to meet her? I don't know if you're ready. I don't know. Are you guys ready? Let me see my brothers and sisters on YouTube if you guys are ready. How are you, sister?
I'm doing good. It's wonderful to be here, and it's been wonderful watching you on this progression of getting your TV show and now just flying yourself.
Yeah, I'm definitely moving beyond boxes, right? Like,
Oh yes.
there's no other way to describe the feeling. And hello, like, you're literally my first guest on my TV show. And I am super proud to share this with you. And today, I really want to give our audience and the people who are on the TV um, network to get to know you, because a lot of our brothers and sisters in the hounds of business know who you are, but really don't know exactly how to move beyond boxes and what you exactly do. And I want to talk specifically on how does not being authentic impact performance, right? And the ones that we're talking about, it says that 55% say not being authentic at work impacts their mental health. And I know that you're going to talk about the 2 things that we're going to provide today as a value for our um, people that are watching us on the show everywhere is that awareness, right? Is the first step. And how do you ignite that awareness? Can you actually elaborate a little bit more on those two?
So the awareness itself is understanding that we are in a box, understanding that we've given control of our lives to others, whether it's they took it in the first place, because oftentimes it's parents that have that control. Then from parents, some of them they keep it through our lives as long as they can hold on to it, and then other people come into our lives and we're just kind of used to letting others control, letting them kind of tell us what to do, and trying to bend ourselves to be who they are, who they want us to be, what they tell us we are, what we're supposed to do. And then we also have that fear that's stuck with us in the box. And the fear knows us better than we know ourselves because it knows our subconscious and everything. So these are what has control over us. And when we're in that box, when we're stuck, and I went through this for so much of my life, you're just used to giving control to others. You want to do more. You know you can do more. But everybody else has that control. Everybody else is in charge, and you defer to everything. You're not being authentic. That's the thing. When you're doing what others want you to be, there's no authenticity to it because you're bending to what they want. So igniting that awareness is seeing that first you are in the box. You're seeing that all these other forces, factors, people have control. And from that, you become aware that you can take control back. And once you take it back, that's when you can start moving beyond boxes.
That's beautiful. I'm actually it's so funny because we talk literally every day until like almost midnight all the time. And when I don't call you, you're like, "What's wrong with you? Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm dying. I'm dying." Um and we don't really talk about, the experiences that we have. Like right now, I know there's a lot of people out there still. When you're talking about boxes, they're like, "What are you talking about? What boxes are you talking about?" A lot of people are still unaware that they are in a box, right? We're
Right.
not saying you can go march out there and hate people that put you in the box. That's not how it works. And healing process is not about putting more pain and pressure on yourself. The healing process is about an internal work on yourself. And every time that we are put in a box, so let's give them an example of what box are we talking about. Before we ignite those awareness, we gotta realize, what box am I in actually?
Well, and these boxes are varied. It's how society tries to categorize it, or people and their bias. So it can be neurodiversity, it can be mental health, overcoming an addiction, LGBTQ, it can be being a woman, it can be skin color. There's so many different boxes, and all of these boxes have some stigma to them. That stigma, we feel the stigma because we don't want to be judged by others, and yet that's what they're going to do. Maybe it's that non-regional accent, and you're afraid to let people, you don't speak up because you're afraid that when people hear your accent, they're going to judge you, they're going to stereotype you, and they're going to put you in this box. And once you're inside that box, you're lumped with everybody else who has a non-regional accent. And whoever puts you in that box, and sometimes it's us, they are picking a subset of wherever, whatever they can pick that fits a narrative that they want to paint the whole box as. And that becomes the brush that they paint everybody as. Everybody is this way. So if you've got a non-regional accent, somebody might say you're a threat for something, and everybody is. And yet everybody that's in that box, no matter what the box is, they're just as diverse as the rest of the country. Each is a unique individual, and so many of them in that box, they know they don't belong there. Some people, they want to be in the box. Maybe they feel like a victim that way. Maybe that's just their identity and they don't want to lose that identity. Most of us, we don't want that identity because we're more than whatever that box is. We can do so much more, and however that box is painted, that's not us. But that's the stigma, is you're painted in that box and you're afraid. So that's where we build our walls. And sometimes we build the box because we're afraid other people will see this about us, and then it's how they might treat us, how they might deal with us, talk to us. And that's all the issues around these boxes. We get stuck in this box. Fear keeps us there, telling us it's the safest place to be, keep the walls up, but we don't want to be there. We're stuck.
Yeah, I've been stuck in a box for a while. My box is definitely not unique, especially to Asian culture, right? You have to be perfect, you have to do this, and you have to be skinny, you have to be this. It's just a lot of those pressure that we put on ourselves as a reflection of our society, right? You're supposed to be tall, and it's like all this things that you hear. You have to be tall, you have to be blonde, you have to be blue eyes, you have to speak perfect English to have fun in the life. And I'm like, great. I am totally not any of those checkbox. I'm 5 feet tall. I got dark hair, brown eyes, and freaking short. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have fun just because I'm not in that box. And I never even thought about those as boxes. I just thought about those as limitations. And being labeled in my family as the black sheep because I don't fit on certain things has always made me feel insecure about a lot of things, right? Because no matter what your accomplishments are, it's that drive that keeps me going. And it's because I'm always like, I'm a tunnel vision. Like, I don't, well, for the most part, I don't really give F on people and what they think or what they say. I'm like, okay, whatever. I've already been labeled way too many things. Put it on my box. Like, I have a box of labels over there. I'm putting your label on that box and I'm lucking that up and throwing it in the ocean. Uh, I think it's when you are in fear. Like, I had some conversations with a friend who was like in this marriage for a long time, and from the outside it's super happy. She has a lot of money. She's perfect, skinny, beautiful, tall, right? But no one knows that her husband literally keeps her at home and physically abuses her. And
Yep.
she's stuck on that perfect box. Like, oh, my wife is perfect, but literally she gets everything, she travels everywhere, but she is physically, mentally, spiritually abused. And I saw a little bit something in there. But when you were saying about that fear of judgment, she's not fearful that people will know her husband beats her up. She's not fearful of that. What she's fearful of is people will think, well, you deserve it. You must have done something wrong, right? To make your husband hate you. You deserve it because you are lacking of something as a woman. But really, in reality, you're putting yourself in that box in your head, because if the truth comes out, I'm sure people will be on her corner. I'm sure also some people will be on his corner. But Susannah, how do we, now that we're like, we know what's right and wrong, but sometimes you're in that line you don't want to cross because you're so afraid, that fear of judgment.
Yep.
How do you get out of that and that shackle of like, I'm so scared, what if people hate me?
Well, the first thing is that fear that's holding us back. I mean, another thing in terms of your friend could be that she's afraid people will think she's been it so long they that she likes it. So you can add so many different fears. And the thing is, our fear, it's always telling us lies. Fear's a liar. Fear tells us what's going on the outside, and these boxes that we're in, they have cracks. They're not solid, so we can see out beyond the box. But the fear is telling us lies with just a grain of truth, just enough truth, so that if we do look through, those translucent lies will blur everything outside the box, except for that grain of truth that you keep hearing, and that's what you see and recoil back. It's that knowing, you know you want to get out, Once you know you're in the box, you know you want to get out, you know you want to change something. But so many of us in our life, we know we should do X, Y, Z. We know we should go for a walk. We know we should not have that extra piece of cake. We know we should, all these things that are supposed to make our lives better. We know it. If we did it, we would do it, but we can't because fear's got the controls. It's once we have that awareness, once we've sparked an understanding of what is holding us in that box, what is it that we're afraid of? What is it that we feel we're going to be judged about? Put the light on it, because when you're inside the box, it's dark in the box, and fear can only survive in the dark. The reality is, if you saw fear, you'd recoil from it because it's not a picture that you would like. But the voice of fear is very seductive. So it's like beautiful voice, but if you see it, you recoil away from it and it will lose its power. So awareness, when I say ignite your awareness, it's not just bringing a flicker of light from the outside in. It's creating a bolt of light inside that box. It's bringing light in the box that thereby, the more light you get in the box, the more awareness you have of where you're at, what's going on, that you need to make a change and you want to make a change. More light means less shadow. Less shadow means less space for fear to hide. And the smaller fear gets, the weaker its grasp gets on us. So we need that awareness in the box. We need that light to realize that we can make the change. And now it's time to start making a plan to take the first step. And that first step, it doesn't have to be big. A lot of people are like, I want to take that step and be out of the box. Well, that step may only be a centimeter, an inch, but it doesn't matter. It's a step, and it's a step out. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be the first step, and then the next step, until suddenly you realize you're at the edge and you've moved beyond. And once you move beyond, it's like, dang, that's where you shine.
Yeah, I see you there, Shine. So, yes, we talked about what is the first step to awareness is looking and digging deep on what are you fearful about? What is that thing that's stopping you from living your authentic self? And I promise, guys, we're going to go back to what I quoted at the very beginning in terms of work, right? Being authentic at work helps with your mental health. And we're going to go from personal to corporate in a minute. And the reason that we have to go to personal, because we are personal, we as a worker and an employee, okay, have that issue and that baggage that we take at work. And so we are trying to tell you that part of Susannah's work in your organization is not to be nosy in your people's boxes or boxes that you put your employees in, but more of having your employees think about themselves and work on themselves so they can be productive at work. Part of that first step of awareness is having them in their face, in the mirror, of that awareness of what boxes am I fearful of. It could be, like she said, about an accent. It could be that your height. It could be that you lack the education. It could be that you lack the skills. A lot of us trying to get to management position, but you only have a high school degree or diploma, I should say, right? And so you're fearful, like, if I say that, what if they won't and they will reject me, right? So these personal things that we're talking about, it actually equates to work, and being authentic helps with their mental health, therefore they can be productive. Now we talk about, some igniting your awareness. What are some attributes? Susanna went a little bit on that as well. right? On your attributes. Sister, can you give us at least one or two attributes? We talked about fear already and judgment. Can you give us one more attributes to ignite that awareness of what kind of things am I putting myself in a box in?
Well, okay, so you said the fear and judgment. So much, and some of it even imposter syndrome. It's like you said, you're worried about the degree, or you're in a position and you feel like you're in over your head. You're looking, your comparison is really what this comes down to. You're looking at other people around you and going, oh, she's got it all under control. Oh, the way he runs his team, I can't do that. They're just so fluid, so great. And we're comparing ourselves to what we see versus reality. Reality is, first off, take a look at your own history. Look at that line from where you started to where you are. And if you really are honest about what you see, what you've accomplished to this point, you're likely to realize that no, you're not ready for this position. You're ready for the position that's 2 or 3 steps down the road. That's where you should be. You look at that thread and it's like, that's where I should be. When you're comparing that woman who you look at her and it's like she's got it all together, she's so polished, but you don't know how her family life is. She might be going through a divorce and she's got such, again, she's putting on the face of the mask of being perfect. And that's what you're trying to do, is put on the mask of being perfect when there's problems in family. And again, that's another one of those things that people will hide. They don't want to talk about their family. They don't want to talk about that they're having issues at home, or there's something wrong with the kids, or take your pick. We're hiding all this stuff. And the thing is, when we can be open about it, it doesn't mean that we have to tell everybody everything. That's not a requirement. What we have to do is understand that when you own the fear that's been holding you back, whatever it is, imposter syndrome, accent, LGBT, mental health, all of that stuff, when you own that fear, the fear no longer owns you. And you decide who you're going to tell, who you're going to open up to. It's your choice. You decide what, when, where, why, how you're going to tell somebody. Most importantly, if you're going to tell, because you don't have to tell anybody. You're just letting the walls down. You don't have to tell anybody. And it also makes it easier because these walls were there because you were afraid somebody would find out. You let the walls down. You own it. If somebody finds out, they no longer have the control over you. They can't hold it over you because you own it. You own your fear. If they say, oh, I see that you're this or your family is that, it's like, so what? It's none of your business. And just go on your own way. You control it. Not this again, it's the box. You take control back. You don't give it to others.
I love that. And for me, I think part of my healing process was forgiveness, right? We talked a little bit about
Oh yes.
forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself, not because for other people. You forgive yourself so you can move on. There are lots of things that you do. We do bad stuff to ourselves in our head, especially. You're not good enough. You're not this. We talk so much crap about ourselves. It's not even funny. Like if there was a meter of toxicity, we are bursting of toxicity in our head, right? It's because of all of the fear and the judgment. And that's the thing that I want to talk about is forgiveness, non-judgmental, surrounding yourself with the non-judgmental people, and how important support is. And if you are that type of person or an individual who doesn't have support or who doesn't think you have support, think a little bit. How can someone support you if they don't even know what they need to support you of? The first thing you got to do with that, and I highlighted Michelina, basically, saying, hey, first step is the hardest, right? Like that first step is always the hardest because you don't know, and we're so fearful of the unknown. How do you
Yep.
think insurance company makes money out of us? It's that fear of losing $100,000 that you can't afford. Yet for the last 20 years I've been putting over $100,000 probably on my insurance, right? And I've only used it maybe once. And so it's that fear that gets us in trouble. But if I'm not saying, yeah, don't have fear, because that's impossible. We all have fear. I'm saying mitigate that risks by opening up to your own self, not necessarily strangers, and start talking to strangers about your business. No one needs to know that business either, like what Susannah said, but make sure that you are non judgmental in yourself first. Make sure that you forgive yourself first. And then don't be judgmental on yourself, because when you put judgment on yourself, you're actually putting yourself back in that box, right? And all this is, and ask for help if you feel you cannot do this step. We don't have to do it on our own. And that's the hardest part, Ollie, because people sometimes do ask for help and they get rejected and rejected and rejected. So guess
Oh,
what
yeah.
happens to those people? They don't ask for help anymore. Not because they didn't try. It's not for the lack of trying. And the reason that they don't get the help is because they don't even know what help they need. They just think, I'm asking for help. Well, what help do you need? Hmm. And the reason you say that is because you need to work on yourself first. And when you're an employee and you have your own, like, you know how people, you don't know why they're mad at you for some reason. They're like, why are they in such a bad mood? Why are they so mad? It's because they have that turmoil in themselves that they bring in at work. Okay. And that's why they're not productive, because in their head, oh my gosh, my manager's going to find out that I'm this and I just applied for that position. I don't know. And so all day they're twiddling their thumbs instead of actually working on whatever project that they're in. And then the days goes into weeks and the weeks goes into months. And like, CJ, did you finish this project? I'm working on it. It's been 2 months. And not because I'm not capable. I'm stuck in that mindset of, how am I gonna support myself? How am I gonna, all these questions that you have. And so before you ask for help, I'm not saying don't ask for help, you need to work on yourself first. That self awareness of, what do I need to work on first so that I can move beyond one box. I'm not thinking the whole boxes, because there's way too many boxes, okay? One
Yeah.
box at a time, right? And just say, hey, I don't know when I'm going to work, but let's work on one thing first and let's see where I'm going with this, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to do that. Now, my next question is, how has overcoming fears and self-doubt played a role in your journey beyond boxes?
So before I get that, I'm going to add one more thing to the forgiveness aspect. Because yes, we have to forgive ourselves. Also, we have to forgive those who have wronged us, or that we even thought wronged us. And many will go, why am I forgiving them? Well, because they have control over you. If you aren't forgiving them, if you don't say to yourself, I forgive this person, because you don't have to tell them anything. They may not even care. If you can sit back and say, I forgive that person, you're releasing the chains that are holding you back. So why don't you put the question back up again? So overcoming fears, my own journey for this, it's really been the people that have been around me. And when I talk about my story, there's in many ways there's two parts where overcoming the fear and self-doubt was so important to how I've gotten to where I'm at now. The first part was just because of the pandemic and what I was going through, I found a support group for me in Sephora. I was able to go into Sephora stores and talk with other women, and it became my support group. To hear the positive affirmations from them, to hear the support, to hear their words, and to interact, and to know that they enjoyed seeing me show up. That was such a big deal for me. And that's what really helped me to overcome so much in terms of the fears. I look at that time and I can see how much fear I had at the beginning, and then how much, as the time went by and I met more of the gals at Sephora, fear was dropping away. It wasn't as big a deal. Then we fast forward to just this year, these last couple of years, where I did my own, it's like just did a total reinvention coming into last year, focus on just being my authentic self, put myself out there, and then start meeting people and finding those connections, finding acceptance, finding support, finding people on LinkedIn who, as I opened up with them, was more vulnerable with them, more vulnerable in some of my posts, to feel the positive from them. And then we take it even further into this year, and it's you and Nick and Christine, and just that connection became a group of sisters who we can open up about anything, and we know that we're not going to be judged about it. If we're having a hard time, if we're having negative thoughts, we can put it out there, because we have others who, they won't go, oh, ick, I'm worried about, no, I can't deal. No, it's, what do you need? How can I help? Or even to just listen to, I just see, I'm not sure exactly how the words went, but basically to vomit on them and they listen. Isn't that how you put it?
Yeah, and I'm like, I vomit all my issues with Susannah. Come on, pick up the phone. And I'm literally texting her. I'm like, okay, she's not in WhatsApp. She's gonna be on phone. I'm gonna ring her. I'm gonna text her. Like, I'm like harassment. Literally, sister, where are you? You know, and I don't have to look for her really. She picks up, and if she doesn't pick up, I'm like, something's wrong. She must be taking a nap or went shopping somewhere in her shoe collection or makeup Sephora collection. You know, like for real. And sometimes she takes me grocery shopping. She's like, yeah, I'm shopping right now. So anyway, I'm like, okay, great. Anyhow, this is my vomit for the day, you know, like all that issues. And you really do need that support system that will accept you for who you are. And because when people says we all are damaged goods, yeah, we have
Mhm.
baggages. We're not damaged goods. Damaged goods are basically sold with no value. We have so much more value than anyone can unearth, right? We're not a one pony show. All of us really have so many talents, right? And we don't look ourselves as competition. Yes, if you think about it, we all are authors, right? In our sisters, we all do graphics, we all do content writing at some capacity, and we all learn from each other. We're not seeing ourselves as competition. We're seeing ourselves as equal. But sometimes we have a little bit of weakness on certain areas that we can pull each other up, right? And that's the really thing, is the support system is as important in your journey as your mental health, because you really do need that. And before we end the show, sister, oh no, Susannah left me. I wanted to ask, for her, there she is. You left me. I was gonna.
Um,
This is my last question. Well, second to the last. Well, yes, last question. Can you elaborate on the journey beyond boxes showcased in your fantasy book, Search for the Armor? Did I just have two armors in there? Yes, I did. Search for the armor of God. Literally, it's just one armor, guys. Okay.
well,
Talk to me
it
about
makes sense if you remove the quote, Mark. Um, But this journey, this is the journey of our main character is the eldest prince of a land, but he's not like his dad. His younger brothers are more like his dad. So all his life he's being told who he is, what he's supposed to do, what's expected of him. And he can't bend himself to fit that. He's more like his mom, who passed away, and he can't do the things that his dad and brothers can, or what's expected of him. So he's stuck in a box. He doesn't have confidence. He's not really sure who he is, and we open the story with him sitting between two kings who are planning his life to marry somebody he doesn't even like and have him go to a different kingdom and not be in his home. So that whole journey, what happens as this group of 12 companions goes and searches the world for the missing pieces of armor of God, he ends up on his own quest within it. He's got his friends, he's got his connections, and as he starts thinking about the armor, as he talks with Reverend Matthias, who becomes really his best friend, and Simeon, who was a thief, the last one added, and others are looking down on him like, why do we have a thief amongst all these rich people, kind of deal? And yet Simeon proves to be very vital to the success of the quest. All through this, Henry is starting to realize who he is, what he is, his authentic self. And he's starting to let go of trying to bend to what other people are doing. He's not in some ways cognizant of what he's doing. It's happening naturally. But as you read the story and as you see what he's doing, you can see the process of how he's having the conversations, how he's understanding things, how he is moving from that position of being stuck towards his own journey to get out of the box and be able to shine as his authentic self, which will either happen in the first book, the second book, maybe both, but I will leave that to the readers.
You're killing me. She told me about this plot last night. I'm like, oh, good. I can skip when chapter. It's like, no. Actually, what I told you is on book number 2. I'm like, oh my God, sister, you're killing me. But that was really cool. So if you guys haven't bought it, you can read it on Kindle. I have it on Kindle, but I'm old school. I really have to have this because I take notes when I read. And then,
this
yes.
copy.
Yes. Oh, and you can actually get a copy signed by Susannah. We're setting that up for her soon. So when you guys, probably next week, we should have it done, and we'll have a link for you guys. And you follow us on LinkedIn. Susannah is also there on LinkedIn as well as mine. And I will, on this show on YouTube, I will edit the description so you can find not only her book, and on Amazon, but also we're going to put in her handles on her YouTube channel. She also has a YouTube channel, and we're going to put her handle for LinkedIn as well. Sister, go ahead and take us out in terms of what are they looking forward with what you're doing. If you are a business and you need someone to actually work with your employee on how to be authentic so that their mental health is in tip-top shop, right? And they can be productive. Productivity is one thing that we always use for KPIs and anything in sales and anything that we do at work, right? We need to be having productive employees, and having productive employees means healthy mindset and healthy mental wellness. And Susannah can help you with that through a lot of the things that she works in within your or work with in your organization. So talk to us about that, sister.
So this comes down to what the workplace environment is like. And I know a lot of companies will say, oh, we're open, we can do this. But the stats are there that 3 in 5 are hiding in the workplace, and especially women. When we go into a workplace and we might say everything's fine, but we're dressing more masculine to try and fit in when that's just not who we are. We need our pink. We need our frills. We need our, because the other thing is how we dress. Just using that one item, that really does impact how we feel in the workplace, how we feel doing the job. And what businesses need to understand, especially those owners, HR, is when the employees are hiding something, they don't feel safe to be open in the workplace. I know that employees are viewed as an asset. So if they're not as productive and as engaged as they could be, they become a depreciating asset. And you can't just say, oh, well, I'll just swap them out for somebody else, because number one, it's freaking expensive to do that. And number two, you may have just the right person there. You just have to make them feel safe. Like I said, they don't have to, once they're open, they don't have to say everything that's going on, and they probably won't. They just have to feel that they know, if they say, I'm bipolar, they say, I overcame alcohol addiction, and this is what I'm doing to try and do it. So when you guys say, let's go to the bar, and I say, I don't want to go, this is why. So that you understand, instead of them saying, oh, you guys go, and they don't feel like they're a part of the company anymore. This being open and understanding that we are each unique, we have our own issues. When the company allows everybody to be that open, to show up as their authentic self, to not be afraid to let it slip that they overcame a drug addiction, that somebody was a teen mom, that they're going through their third divorce right now. All of this stuff, when we do that, we waste energy hiding it. That's energy that we could be using to engage and really provide our ideas and thoughts to the workplace. That's what's missing. When we hide, it's that well-being. Like you started off with 55% who are hiding. It's like, it's hurting my well-being and mental health in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
We need to drop that, which I love seeing mental health being more discussed as a reality and a part of life instead of shunned. We need to stop shunning everything else.
Love it. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, if you guys are a business owner or organization and you're actually seeing your attrition rate really high, people are leaving your workplace in and out, there's something wrong, right? And so you can call us, you can call my dear sister Susannah, and just have a consult and evaluate your organization on how we can help and make sure that productivity is high, but also really happy employees gets you more loyalty as well. So thank you so much, sis. I'll see you in back in the room, and I will be right
Yep.
there. So stay tuned, okay? Well,
Thanks so much.
everybody, thank you guys so much for being here. That was so amazing, right? I wanted to read this to you before we end the show and basically see what your thoughts are. Talk to me about it, right? It says, your attitude determines your altitude. Maintain a positive one, and you'll reach new heights. Don't wait for the right moment. Make every moment right. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much, Ali, Michelina, Janice. And I believe I saw Crystal in here as well. And MD, thank you guys so much on our YouTube channel. That's the only way I can highlight anybody who is here. So have a fantastic week. Have a happy Veterans. And we will see you later again next week, same time, same channel, right? 9 a.m. PST. So have a fantastic day, guys. Bye, everyone.